You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, GH fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got a hot new leak for you that covers two different front burner storylines on the ABC soap opera. One's about Michael and Sonny, and another is about Dr. Finn, medicine man, and his malpractice suit. We're going to unpack these exciting leaks in just a moment, and if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. All right. So I just want to start off by saying this leaker has a better than 50-50 accuracy rating in the past. I'd say they're closer to about 70%, but they're definitely not foolproof. So I just want to give that caveat because I do love leaking stuff to you and delivering the goods as soon as I can. But I also always try and be really clear on what's a spoiler, what's a rumor, what's a leak, what are things that are fun to talk about but are not official spoilers from the network by any means. So these are not official spoilers. These are leaks. So let's start with, to me, what is the slightly duller leak of the two. That's the one about Dr. Hammy Finn's malpractice case. He has been accused of costing a patient their life because he supposedly missed a cancer diagnosis, and by the time it was made, the patient was at stage 4 and untreatable and then died. The patient in question also had a tapeworm, and Finn treated that and then asked the guy to come back in a couple of weeks for more testing, but the patient never returned. So Liz got onto the horn and she checked in with the nurse network. So that was after they found out the dead patient had another home up in Beecher's Corners, a name that you all know from watching GH for so long. It's a little town just north of Port Charles. Sure enough, the patient in question was getting medical attention up there, and that's why he never came back to General Hospital as he had been asked to do. So that definitely looks pretty good for Finn. The leak says that Finn's malpractice suit resolves without ever seeing the inside of a courtroom. It says the plaintiff drops the case, and that does sound good, and it sounds plausible based on the info that Liz Weber found for Finn. But there's also a leak for 2024 that says a familiar face is back as part of Finn's lawsuit. And the assumption was that it's Griffin Monroe because he and Finn never got along and he knew about Finn's drug habit. And Griffin is supposedly a witness for the plaintiff in the lawsuit. I will say both things could still be true. They're not necessarily contradictory. Griffin could return and say that he's going to be a witness for the plaintiff, say that he's going to tell the jury about Finn's drug use he observed on the job. I don't know if you guys remember back then, Finn was stealing pills off of little patient trays that the nurses had. But the lawyers have enough probably that shows that the patient was getting medical help elsewhere, chose not to come back to GH, and then is trying to sue GH for neglect when they just didn't follow up because they were following up elsewhere. That should exonerate both Finn and the hospital. So we could get Griffin back to stir the pot, but then the suit's dropped and he never testifies and never gets to unload all that history with Finn. I'm kind of torn on this. I really, really like Matt Cohen, and I would definitely like him back as Griffin, but I also do not want to watch this case in court. I have a feeling it'd be like watching paint dry. Usually, if there's a court case, it's over in one episode, maybe two. This is not LA Law or anything. We'll see how it goes. But the leak says the plaintiffs drop the suit and Finn's in the clear, and we'll know in a few weeks if the leak is right. So the second leak is far more interesting to me, and I'd love to see it happen. I'm just not so sure that it will, but it's still worth discussing. So Sonny Corinthos is angry right now at both his wife, Nina, and his son, Michael. He's furious that Michael kept the SEC secret from him and is not impressed with his excuses, that he just wanted to let him enjoy his happiness with Nina. And of course, he's just mad at Nina for trying to get Carly locked up. But let's also remember, Michael is sitting on another huge secret that he's been keeping from Sonny for almost 3 years now. The leak says Michael will finally confess this other huge secret. So what's the secret? Well, the leaker says Michael's going to finally come clean to his dad that he brought in Dex Heller to spy on him and get the goods on him to turn over to the feds. The leaker also said Sonny forgives Michael but fires Dex. I mean, that sounds long-term feasible. And of course, Sonny would fire Dex. It's just how long would it take him to forgive Michael, right? So while this leak sounds like a lot of fun, I don't see it happening for a few reasons. First of all, Michael is in deep doo-doo with his daddy right now. So why would he tell Sonny something else that'll just piss him off all over again? If Michael does, then maybe he's taking an approach of better just get it all out now when Sonny's already mad and just let it all blow up and blow over. I could see that you might want to do that. Second, we've also got more mob action coming in 2024. And an official spoiler for the new year says that Dex is tasked by Sonny to do a mob thing that's outside his comfort zone. So that to me sounds like that Dex is still working for him and not fired. So again, also what affects all this is Jason Morgan's return, because him coming back means Sonny will have his pet hitman back in the fold and Dex may be redundant. So I will say this leaker got something quite wrong recently. They leaked that Sonny was going to tell Nina and Michael to hold off telling Carly about the SEC secret they were hiding because her mother had died. Sonny might have done that if he'd known, but he didn't know about Bobby's death at the time that it all came out. He blew up and he ordered Nina to go over and confess to Carly. So that one did not pan out, but many of their others have worked out pretty close to how they said the storylines would go. So just real quick though, there are some other leaks that we have on the books here that we're waiting to see if they manifest. One says that Cyrus Renaud is going to be shot. I mean, he was attacked by Sonny, so maybe the spoiler was off on the method of assault, gun versus fist, or maybe there's also a shooting coming since there's more mob drama ahead in 2024. The leak also says that a familiar face is back to defend the unlikely suspect. It'd be interesting if they brought back lawyer Jackson Montgomery or Portia's brother Zeke Robinson, who is a criminal lawyer. All right, another leak says it's going to be Spinelli versus Cody, but that's not so much a leak. That's obvious to me because it's already happening. And one more quick note, we had some casting leaks and I want to address those because 2 of the 3 parts of the leak have already manifested. So the leak said there were 3 males returning. 2 of the 3 actors hinted have definitely come back. So that makes me really interested in whether the 3rd part of the leak is going to happen as well. One said the actor had been gone less than 5 years and was returning. Clearly, that's Steve Burton as Jason Morgan. Then there was one that was last seen in 2023 that's returning. And that to me sounds like Adam Huss as Nicholas Cassadine. Particular interest to me is the 3rd actor has been gone more than 10 years from General Hospital. And remember, Nicholas just told Ava he did not put in the offer to buy Windermere. So maybe it's this mystery character. Maybe it's one of the other Cassadines back from the dead. I'm really hoping personally for Ted King as Alcazar. We'll see. I get so excited when the leaks come to fruition, but on these new 2 about Finn's case and Michael's confession, we'll see how it goes. I'm more inclined to believe the leak about Finn's case than the one about Michael confessing about Dex. But of course, time will tell. All right, that's it. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely drop your comments and come back soon because we're here talking General Hospital 7 days a week. And as always, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.